Okay. I think it worked. Please tell me it worked. I can see that I'm on Twitch. And it looks like both YouTube and Twitch are connected to the chat. Am I here? Anyone? 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 Because now I don't see anyone. But it looks like I see Pinnell saying aloha. And okay, Darlene's in. eMusic is in. Twitch is now up. Chee-hoo! eMusic, yes! All right, Pinnell, aloha. Thank you so much for subscribing for 3 flippin' years, 36 months. All right, it looks like things are starting to coordinate themselves. I don't really know what happened, okay? Well, no, you know what? I think I do know what happened. I had to change my I had to log into Twitch, but because I couldn't log in, because I couldn't remember my login to Twitch under this name, because I have multiple, I had to I had to restart I had to change my password. And because I changed my password, everything got into a kerfuffle. But the kerfuffle, I think, has been smoothed. And Pussycat, am I okay? You know what? I don't know. I don't even know anymore, okay? I just don't even know. But what I do know is I'm super stoked that DJ Smook is here. I'm super stoked that Pussycat is here. I'm super stoked that Gil Soto X is here. I'm super stoked that Devin's here, and eMusic, and Darlene, and Rick, and Pinnell, and Shock, and I think I already said Rick, but I'm going to say it again, and Mama Sean. And let's see here, who else? eMusic, Pinnell, DJ Smook. All right, there we go. Aloha Wednesday, y'all. I've got myself one kitty right next to me, and I've got another kitty. He is curled up in his little box. Unfortunately, Dusty Kitty is on the injured list again. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but before we do that, I'm going to say, hey, how's it, Pussycat? And then I'm going to say, let's get the party started. And it looks like Terry came on in there too. And Terry, no. You finally found me. No, I finally showed up to be found because it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was me. Yeah, I know. We've all heard that one before, but this time it really was true. My settings were not set up properly. And so there you go. And okay, Pussycat, no, it didn't snow here at my house. Well, Pussycat, that is good to know. But I'm going to tell you right now, oh, I know there's no background tunes, Shock, because I have them on mute, but now I didn't know. I mean, I knew, like, all right, let's see here. Now that you pointed out that there was no background tunes, I agreed, because there was none for a reason, which I shouldn't have had clicked. But now they're there. And so, oh no, Terry, your audio settings were so screwed up you couldn't stream today. Oh, that sucks, dude. Oh, that's so frustrating. Well, just so you know, you were not able to find me because of you. I was lost in space for a minute. But now we're back, we're landed, sort of, or at least we're in orbit, and we're linked in with the satellite. Houston, we have no problems at the moment. But we do have Mariana coming in saying, hey, everybody. And gosh darn it, Mariana, there was something I wanted to tell you. I remember now. First off, actually, I'm glad you're here today, Mariana, because we're going to talk about Leavenworth. But also, last stream, Mariana was like, you know, what music do you like besides Lono? Which, really good question, but kind of, I honestly had I really had trouble answering that because I just drew a blank. I told you most of the things. I said, you know, my Super Suckers. I said my Jesse Daytons. I said my old school country music. There we go. But I also ashamedly neglected Green Day. I'm a fan of Green Day like nobody's business. I know, it's stupid, whatever. Green Day. Guns N' Roses, their first album, love it. Actually, the first couple albums, love them. Guns N' Roses, original lineup, Guns N' Roses. Love Guns N' Roses. Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. Never gonna go wrong with Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. By the way, when I say Black Sabbath, I mean the Sabbath with Ozzy, not with later ons. So, and then, of course, we've got the first 5 albums from Duran Duran, and any kind of stupid 80s girl, 80s kind of, Britpop. I'm all about that. And so, that is the magical musical mystery tour of the Mad Statter's Brain. And Darlene is saying, I'm not seeing the YouTube comments on the Twitch side. I am seeing Mama Sean's comments coming through. YouTube saying Mama Sean. Pinnell saying just saw one. Okay, there we go. Okay, I hope that we can see each other. Here, let me do this for a sec. Yeah, on my Twitch stream I'm seeing them. So, I think Mama Sean might be the only person. So unless Mama Sean says something, there ain't no YouTubers to be reading from. Okay, Darlene, finally you just got the Mama Sean one now. Okay, cool. Excelente. So, okay. Now that we've established that people are here, and Puzzycat, your first concert was The Who. My first concert was Cyndi Lauper at the Paramount Theater. Concrete Blonde opened up. And Cyndi Lauper is on her final tour right now. And even though they're super expensive, I really wish that I could go see her final tour, because when I saw her, it was her first tour. It'd be nice to catch her on her final tour. And one thing I can say about Cyndi Lauper is she is a singer extraordinaire. She can belt it like nobody's belting of beltingness. She has got a diaphragm, a gut, a set of lungs on her like you'd never think to look at that tiny little petite white old lady. I have nothing but respect for Cyndi Lauper's music prowess, and if you ever get a chance to see her live, or if you ever had a chance to see her live, you are blessed. But we're gonna go back several topics ago. Puzzycat was bragging that he got no snow, but he's a little chilly. And that's cool that you got no snow, Puzzy, because, you didn't. But check this out. Today is a day in weird weather, because today, Louisiana has more snowpack. The snowpack in Louisiana and Florida Panhandle is deeper than the snowpack in North Dakota right now. Yeah, I said that. You heard me say that. North Dakota has less snow than Florida and Louisiana has right now. Did I mention that? That Florida and Louisiana have more snow coverage than North Dakota does right now. North Dakota. I don't know if you're familiar with North Dakota, but it's in the north. It's actually north of the South. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of a day in spring not too long ago, or a few years ago, where Anchorage, Alaska had a hotter temperature than Phoenix, Arizona. Like, what? How? What? Anchorage was hotter than Phoenix one spring not that long ago, and Florida and Louisiana have more snow than North Dakota today. What? And let's see here, Mama Sean, your son had snow in Biloxi, and your brother-in-law had snow in the Panhandle of Florida. Exactly. It's just bizarre. I don't understand. It just makes no sense. And then Rick saying we got about a ½ inch of snow on the ground overnight. Before that, all green lawns showing. Here's the weird thing that's happening here in Washington. We have got no snow it vaguely gets cold enough overnight to frost. And then during the day, it gets to be 40. But in the shadowy shadows of the trees and the hills, the frost has been staying all day long. So it kind of looks like there's snow on the ground. So we've had no snow on the ground, and it's barely freezing, but it looks like there's snow on the ground. So there you go. There you go. And, exactly, DJ Smook, it was colder here in Southeast Texas than some areas of Canada for the past few days. That's weird, okay? That's weird. I'm gonna point and laugh and say that's weird. And I hope that Texas weather feels bad. I want Texas weather to feel so bad that it goes back where it belongs. North. See, can we do that? Is there a way that we can make fun of the weather and just make it feel really bad? And I heard its feelings are hurt, and so now it just doesn't want to... It doesn't want to hang out here anymore. I'm taking my toys and I'm going home. I don't want to hang out with you Texas people. I'm going to hang out with my Toronto people where they appreciate the ice. They appreciate what I bring to the table. They appreciate me for my hockey. They appreciate me for my snow building. They appreciate me for my ice fishing. All you down here don't even appreciate what I bring to the table. You don't even appreciate what I can do for y'all. See, that's what we need to do. We need an adversarial relationship with the weather. Make it feel bad. Make it go away. And Pinnell, you had frost on the inside of your window ledge this morning. I actually this today saw a YouTube video of, in Minnesota it was like -41 at wherever this person was, and their doorknob on the inside of the house was covered in frost. And I just can't even imagine how cold that house must have been. I can only assume it was in their in a mud. I can only hope it was in a mud room, you know, an area that wasn't in the warmth of the house. But yeah, the doorknob on the inside of the door was covered with frost. And I've had it so ice covers the inside of my windows before, but I only have single pane windows, so that doesn't really surprise me. And let's see here. But hold on. Excuse me. Let's see here. Mama Sean, you're dying here in Phoenix. We got to go to freezing. And, you know, that's warm for a lot of us, but you can take 110 easy. Yeah, no, freezing is... No, hey. Freezing is freezing. And if you're used to 110, which is unacceptably hot, freezing is worse than freezing. And so, yeah, you are allowed to be all, I'm miserable, everything sucks. I know you guys are more miserable, but I have misery too. And Mitchie Mama, is so good to see you. I'm assuming that Mitchie Mama does not have snow on her ground, but I do think that Mitchie Mama did let me know that some chilly breezes have been blowing into Hawaii, and she was very, very happy about that. Finally, some cool breezes were hitting her shores, and as much as we might be lamenting the cool breezes, in the tropics, sometimes a cool breeze is quite nice. And DJ Smoke, it's 40 right now, but it's going to be 29 in the morning. Right, yeah, and that's kind of been the weather range in Seattle recently. And so when it's 29 in the morning, like 40 just, it's not cold, but when it's 29 in the morning, 40 is still plenty. 40 is cold. 40's not warm enough. And shock, yeah, all I can say about the cold is I'm kind of relieved not to have to manage Ellie Doggy in this temperature. Yes, indeed. And shock, you know, I'm so sorry for your recent loss, but I think you also know that you gave your dog a better life in the last 2 or 3 years that you had her than she probably had the previous, 7 years before her. So, and I'd also be willing to bet that Ellie probably wouldn't want to be walking around in this cold too, because she's a lady, and ladies don't walk in snow. I don't know what you're thinking you would want me to put my paws into. Ladies don't walk in snow. We get carried. And yeah, Pinnell, exactly. Pinnell brings up really the best point. people in the South don't have good cold weather gear. And it's Pinnell, my mucklucks have kept me warm lately. Exactly, yeah. Even in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of us don't have like super good cold weather gear. We have medium cold weather gear, but you know, when it comes to like consistently 20 degrees or below, even people in the Pacific Northwest aren't really prepared for that. And I can't even imagine how clueless. I mean, I'd be willing to bet that there isn't one person in Florida that owns a pair of thick wool socks. And for the most part, I don't own very many pairs of thick wool socks. But when it gets cold out, all 3 pairs of thick wool socks that I have get worn constantly. I mean, till they're smelly, and then they get washed, and then they get worn and worn and worn. So, you know, you need to get some thick wool socks, y'all. I think we need to send some emergency wool socks to the South. And let's see here. Mitchie Mama, at least it's not snowing in Washington, right? Well, no, not here in the western part of the state. But up in the mountains, we actually have a really good snowpack right now. One of the better snowpacks, actually. One of the better snowpacks in the nation. This particular snowpack pick was taken not but a few hours ago, and all those little purple spots up there in the Pacific Northwest, that's our snowpack. We're looking at around, 98 inches of snow. I don't know how many feet that is, but it's not that bad. But yeah, so that's the snowpack here. And let's see here. And I feel like I feel like a basic white girl busting on my Uggs, but I do not care. They're heavenly. Yes, they are, I'm sure, Mariana, but Shock brings much, much, much truth. If you're going anywhere where there's slush, put some plastic bags over them Uggs, put some Scotch Guard on them, get them waterproofed, because slush is just the bane of all warm feet's existence. They just seep right in there. It is not happy. And Terry in Scotland, I'm wearing my Chinese fuzzy boots. Best things ever. Yep, right now I am wearing my fuzzy slippers that I got at Goodwill for $3.99. So very happy with that little purchase. And let's see here. Darlene, yeah, I feel so sad for the southern states. In one state, I forgot which state, there aren't any snowplows, and they got almost 8 inches. Wow, dude, that is a lot of inches for a state that has no snowplows. But here's the deal, Darlene, even if they had one snowplow, obviously one is better than none, but one can only do so much. And that is sort of the problem that we have in the Pacific Northwest. We don't have a lot of snowplows. We don't have the snow infrastructure that northern states have. And so yeah, I don't know what state it was either that you just said doesn't have one of them, but yeah, 8 inches needs a snowplow. I'm not gonna lie. They are bum in, and they're freezing too. And let's see here. Shock, you have a pair of Uggs only to use when it's too cold for any liquid H2O, like when we've been in Boston for Martin Luther King Jr. events. Right. And Pennell, you're wearing Dollarama slippers with fuzz inside. Exactly. Why spend $40 for slippers? No one's gonna see them. They're not leaving the house. I'm all about the super cheap slippers as long as they keep my feetsies warm. And the only time of year I use sneakers, the rest of the year is for flip-flops. Pussycat, I so feel you. And even still, I sometimes rebelliously, like last night, I went to my convenience store. I was wearing flip-flops because I don't care that it was 39 degrees out. It was still, I'm wearing flip-flops. I'm being a rebel. And, let's see here, Shock. We have the mayor's brother on the plow, and he drinks too much. Well, Shock, he's gotta keep warm. He's gotta keep warm. Don't you know? All right, so let's see here. What do we have to talk about today? We've got a bunch of different things to talk about today. I have a kitty who wants, who wants some attentions, but instead we're going to talk about a goat. It'll just be a quick minute, but there's this goat, you guys. There's a goat. Do you see that goat? This goat is a goat in France, and this goat was a goat that used to be kept at a farm for their milk, but she didn't produce enough milk to pay for her own keep, and so the goat farmer, whatever, sent her to the slaughterhouse, and she was having none of it. So she escaped the slaughterhouse, and she ended up in this rescue. This all takes place in France. So she escaped the slaughterhouse and ended up at a rescue in France. And this particular farm in France happens to also have a music venue that was on their acreage. So Biquette, the goat who loved underground concerts. Does this story make any sense? No, and yet it happened. We're in Marseille, whatever, France, where there's a farm with a concert area mainly used for punk, grindcore, and various extreme subgenres of metal and punk underground music. Easily recognizable in photos, every time there was a concert, this goat wouldn't hesitate to escape her barn and position herself in the front row, joining the mosh pit. The goat became a true legend of the scene. Despite changes in the farm's management and the concert venue, she always stayed loyal. For 10 years, she attended every live performance. For those who thought this is terrible treatment of a goat, the organizers responded that she was never forced and was free to come and go as she pleased. Perhaps her death could be attributed to the less than healthy diet followed, consuming whatever came her way, including liquor, drugs, junk food, and more. But one thing is certain, she lived 10 years as a true rock star. So before her life of rebellion, she belonged to farmers who used her for milk production, and according to them, she didn't produce enough milk to justify the cost of keeping her, so she was sent off to be slaughtered. However, she managed to escape death and ended up living amongst the punks. And so there you have it, you guys. Be the punk rock goat that you know exists in the world. There you have it. I thought that was a super cute little story, and sometimes we just need cute stories, because sometimes, reality sucks, and she wanted to party, exactly, and so she literally is the goat, the greatest of all times. She's the goat, the greatest of all times goat. And, she just dug on it, man. I don't know what rock star she was in her previous life, but she just needed to rock. She wants to rock, do, 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 do. She's got to rock. That was a bad rendition of a Twisted Sister song, just so in case you didn't recognize it, because you probably didn't. Anyway, let's see here. Terry in Scotland, your fuzzy boots are from Bedroom Athletic. I'm a bedroom athlete. Nice. There you go. I suppose that is something to brag about now, isn't it? Although, the name Bedroom Athlete for a brand of shoes is kind of funny. I mean, like, does that just mean like the lazy athlete? Because that'd be me. And yeah, Janis Joplin reincarnated. Exactly. So I thought you guys could get a super cute kick out of that. And let's see here. You like the mini goats? So cute. I think the mini goats are super cute too. The goats though that confuse the heck out of me are the fainting goats. Like I don't understand how they evolved to do that. I just don't understand how that's beneficial. I don't understand how they don't hurt themselves. There's so many things about the fainting goats that confuse me. For those of you who don't know, there's a breed, I was going to say a brand, a breed of goat that, like, when it gets scared, they faint. And when they faint, they fall down. And as Darlene says, yeah, those are funny to me. Yeah, lots of people think they're funny. And I guess they are, but at the same time, explain to me how this is an evolutionary benefit. Explain to me how they don't hurt themselves when they fall down. I just don't get it. I don't even get it. But one thing I do get, you guys, now totally awkward gear switching. One thing I do get is, and these are fresh stats, literally like 15 minutes before the stream. I get that California, dude, still on fire. And I was hoping, because I hadn't, been paying attention, that we were all pal with the fire. But we're not all pal with the fire. Not only are we not all pal with the fire, a brand new one started today. A brand new one that's about 4 acres now, totally started today. Also 0% contained. And then this other one called the Hughes Fire, which is in Ventura, Los Angeles, also 0% contained, also started today. That one, though, is over 8,000 acres. So that's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's not really at all. But on the bright side, the Palisades Fire, 68% contained, looking better than not that. And the Eaton Fire and the Lilac Fire are 90% or more. So these are good things. But this whole still on fire thing, you know, I was hoping that the California people could get some snow. Can California get some snow, please? Please? Just some snow? Just a little bit of snow? Lots of bit of snow? Snow, please. And, C Honda, good to see you. We are talking about goats and fainting goats. We're talking about punk rock goats. We're talking about, well, we're just talking about the fires. Now, I hope that you're still safe, because brand new things just started today. The Hughes Fire and the whatchamacallit, what is it, the Center Fire and the Hughes Fire, yeah, just started today. And so I'm hoping that this, I don't mean, what am I hoping? I'm hoping that it all burns down so there's nothing left to burn. I don't even know what to hope for anymore. I mean, okay, let's hope for rain. We might have rain this weekend. Fingers flipping crossed. And yes, eMusic, California can get snow, but let's like bring them all the snow, okay? Florida, are you cool if California takes your snow? Florida, is it cool if California just takes it? Because I think that they want it. And Pussycat, exactly. Hope you don't get mudslides. I'm guessing that they're gonna have mudslides, because that's what. And see, okay, the new fires are far away from the main area. That makes me very happy, because I wasn't sure. I don't know much about Southern California's proximities and landscapables. Exactly, Mariana. We don't need the snow. We can donate the snow. Let's donate the snow. We can do this, right? And I mean, I realize that's sort of silly. And oh my God, Mama Sean, you really. First off, not you. No, Mama Sean, not you. That tone that came out when I said your voice or your name with that tone. My problem is not with you, Mama Sean. They caught another arsonist, says Mama Sean, near San Diego. Mama Sean, I've got tone in my voice, but it is not directed at you. It's a mental illness, right? It's a mental illness, right? They can't help it, right? I mean, I don't really believe in capital punishment. I actually don't. But there are some times where it seems like it's the only logical solution. Wow, yeah. And then, yeah, you wonder if the new fires are copycat crimes. Well, as Sihona was saying, it looks like maybe the LA Ventura one is out in the middle of nowhere. So that might have not been, but maybe the one near... I don't know. It's the third arsonist. Yeah, not the best of humanity showing up these days, says Rick on a soapbox. Rick, grab that soapbox, pile it high, get on it, sing it loud, my friend, because really, I'm not a biblical end of times person, but sometimes I do have to wonder, like, everything's on fire, and what's not on fire is under the icy wind of the cold hand of death that normally doesn't come down that far south. Everything, we're going to heck in a handbasket, you guys. We're going to heck in a handbasket. And yeah, true, Puzzycat. All it takes is a cigarette to make a spark of fire. All it takes is a lightning strike. All it takes is one accidental chain striking the asphalt and creating a spark. There's so many ways to accidentally start a fire, which is why I said something horrible, which is maybe they should have capital punishment put on them, because that's really not my essence, but and yeah, I mean, like, or as Terry and Scotland, I don't know, what if we accidentally shot them? What if we just on accident shot them? Or what if we accidentally just dropped them in a fire? Yeah, exactly. And one was a car fire in Cali. Right, so that's not that's not the type of person that I am angry at. And right, the power lines in Maui, right. There's a million ways you can start a fire. We don't need to reintroduce caveman technology on our own in Southern California right now. Because we are humans, we are capable of making fire, and we all know that. So we don't have to prove or show to each other, look, Mom, I made some fire. Yeah, we know you can, kid, adult, child, person, thing. Everybody can make fire. Power lines can make fire. Chain link can make fire. Yeah, you don't have to prove to us you can make fire. And, let's see here. So you got here in time to ride in a handbasket. Yes, you did, Trail Dust. Because we're talking about strange weather phenomenon and the end of times and how California is on fire and how North Dakota has less snowpack than Florida and Louisiana. And Florida and Louisiana, generally speaking, don't have more snowpack than North Dakota. But today they did. Today they did. Yeah. And let's see here. February through June is your dry season. It's like about 4 months. There you go. But Puzzy, does Florida have a lot of wildfires though? And let's see here. Michi Mama, no problem. Super stoked you were able to hang out for just a quick minute, if nothing else. We will hopefully see you soon, maybe on Saturday for some kind of movie. What kind of movie? I'm not quite sure. We'll probably talk about that in a minute though. And okay, so Puzzycat, yes, they do have wildfires in Florida. Got it. Okay, all right. And let's see here, Terry, a lot of people in Altadena are convinced SoCal Edison was responsible for their fire. Well, I'm assuming SoCal Edison is the power company for that area. And given that the power infrastructure in California has been under serviced for decades now, I think that their assumption is fair. I mean, obviously, I don't know the evidence they're using to support their assumption. I don't know the evidence surrounding all of the facts, etc. But it seems like a pretty good... Seems like a fair assumption to make. How about that? Hey, Thomas the Turtle, what's up? We're just sitting here talking about how we're going to heck in a handbasket real soon because it's the end of times. It's not really the end of times, but Florida has more snow than North Dakota, so things are just weird. And C. Honda, you're using a mask outside because of the dangerous particulate matter, i.e. asbestos. Wow, I hadn't even thought about that. I know that just the smoke in the air is not good, so masks are a good plan. But right, with all of that, all of the housing, all of the everything, that hadn't even occurred to me that asbestos is just floating in the air. Yeah, I'm glad that you're taking that. I'm really glad you're taking that precaution. And exactly, Mama Sean, we get fires along the highway from people dragging chains since we're so dry. Yeah, that's exactly what, I mean, it's so easy in super dry areas to accidentally create fire. Why do you need to go out of your way to create fire? I.e. the arsonists that I'm yelling at, who hopefully aren't here to hear it. Because if you are here to hear it, arsonists, let me just let you know, arsonists, we don't like your kind. Okay? Unless it's in a fire pit and we're freezing cold in the middle of snow, we don't need you making no fire. Alright? Just no. Alright. Now we got that clear. Rick comes in and really kind of says it better. It's not the end of times. It's just upside down times. Upside down and inside out. Abso-flippin-lutely. And at Terry in Scotland, the smoke is so heavy along I-5 right now that they might have to shut it down. That sucks. But, California think traffic bad before that. Yeah, that sucks, but you do what you gotta do, right? Yeah, I mean, that's just not, that's just not, that's not gonna be handy. That's not gonna be handy. And, let's see here, lots of nature preserves near you do controlled fires every so often. Yeah, Mariana, that's really what needs to happen. But unfortunately, lots of acreage don't have that happening. And then once a fire hits, it hits bad, very bad. And, but once it hits, well, it's all been burnt out. So now we can start anew. And, that's really the optimism that I'm having for a lot of these California things. It's like, well, this is land to be started on afresh. Except for, of course, the land that's getting salt water dumped on it, which does concern me. I understand you gotta pick your battles, and the fire is the big battle right now. So I get why salt water has to be used. I get it. But at the same time, dude, all that land that is getting seawater dumped on it, well, that's salted land now. When you salt the earth, not a lot of things grow. And let's see here. C. Honda, right, point out just like New York at 9/11, the microscopic toxins will damage lots of people, and who knows how far it will go. I have been negligent in paying attention to the Los Angeles fires, but so I might sound really stupid saying this, but honestly, C. Honda, you're the first person that I've heard of even bringing up this concern and the parallel to the New York 9/11 issue, and you are really onto something there. I don't know if it occurred to you or if this is already being really spoken about in the news, but I hope that actually the news is talking about that, because until now, right now, I didn't even cross my mind about the damage. I've got these other things in my mind, like, oh, how are we going to rehome these people? Where are they staying right now? Oh my gosh, all their lives are, and so many people's lives are in such flux, and they've lost so many things, and just, I'm more just concerned about, and then spreading of the fire and how many more people will be affected by these fires. I didn't even think about the long-term effects of all of these people in all of these urban centers that have been exposed to all of this toxic smoke for weeks at this point. Yeah, that, yeah, I didn't even, and okay, good, yeah, like I said, I absolutely I'm sure I sound ignorant, because I have been willfully ignorant to the circumstances. So Honda, yeah, we have heard that in the news, and it does make sense. And Pinnell was like, yeah, I've heard a couple news places talking about the air quality. Yeah, but see, the thing is you say air quality though, and I immediately am just like, oh, the smoke particulate. Oh no. I'm not thinking the chemicals. I'm not thinking the asbestos. I'm not thinking of all the rubbers, the plastics, the everything that has been melted. You know, I'm not making those neural connections until someone comes to me, until someone points out the dots to be connected. I did not connect those dots. And let's see here. Darlene, and by the way, Puzzy and Shock, I know we're getting there. We're getting to Lono. I know we're 3 minutes past. Hold on, we're going to get to Lono. I promise. But Darlene, I was talking with Cindy Krause yesterday, and she did say the air quality now is a big issue due to the fires and the toxins in the air. People are wearing masks. This is good. Let's see here. Right, and see, Honda, if you look at our air quality condition, we are very clean. It just doesn't mention particulates. Right. See, so what are we going to do, you guys? Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to listen to Lono, because that's all we can do at this point, is listen to Lono. And then, when we're done listening to Lono, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about snow. Not snow in Florida, snow in the mountains in Washington. All right, there we go.
Nighttime on the streets of Kiev, and the mood is such. I'll try to explain. Watching last sunset till we see the green flash, and it's you and me on a beach at Cam 1. Yeah. On these southern shores, they'll sell everything. Sell a moonlit night, sell your diamond ring. Can you help me now when I say to you, what have you done? What have you done? What have you done for Kiev? Well, oh no. Need I say more? Well, oh no. There in the shadows of a lonely street light, there it is, something moved, and it doesn't feel right. So she takes his hand as they try to run away, run away, run away down the streets of Kiev. Well, oh no. Need I say more? Well, oh no. Oh, lightning strikes high. Kiev spellbound you under a southern sky. Oh no. Need I say more? Well, oh no. Well, somewhere around Cove Park, she looked into his eyes, and as he looked back, they began to realize it's just you and me. Where do we go from here? Let's go take a walk down the streets of Kihei. Well, oh, now need I say more? Well, oh, no. Lightning strikes high. Kihei spellbounds you under a southern sky. Oh no. Need I say more? Well, oh no. It's nighttime on the streets of Kihei, and the mood is such, I'll try to explain. Watch a last sunset till we see the green flash, and it's you and me, each at Cam 1, yeah. Welcome.
All right, there we go. Okay, Kenny from the Cove in the house. Mariana's here, which is great because I got this together basically for her, and then also because I've been talking about this town a bunch. I figure I'd let you guys know all about what is going on. So, you guys might remember. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we talk about this, I'm going to show you a cute video of pretty much how I'm gonna die, because this is what's gonna happen. This is how I'm gonna die right here. This guy didn't die, but if it were me, I would have died. This is it right here.
The elusive and mesmerizing Canada Lynx has decided to investigate this log skidder. These cats are specially adapted for the deep snows of the boreal forests, where their massive paws act like snowshoes, and their thick fur protects them from the coldest weather conditions. One last look before heading back into the deep Canadian forest.
Remember, psst, psst, let me pet you is gonna be my last words. So you can see why that's how I die. And Mariana, not a bobcat, a lynx, actually. A little bit different than a bobcat, but yeah, a lynx on a bobcat in up in the Canadian Rockies. And I just wanted to boop that snoot. And then when he fell down, and he fell down, and he then looked up at the dude you did not see that. I was much more graceful than that. You did not see me fall. He looked so humiliated. It was so cute. I loved that video. So I wanted to share it with you guys, but that's not really what I wanted to share with you guys. What I wanted to share with you guys is we've got a town in Washington, and the town is called Leavenworth. And Leavenworth, by the way, was named after some dude, but that dude was related to another dude whose name was Leavenworth, and the Leavenworth we know about in Kansas or whatever, the prison Leavenworth. Yeah, his cousin. The prison was named after his cousin, but Leavenworth here, not anything. I mean, they're related, but not anything to do with the prison. Anyway, Leavenworth. Boop. You might have to wonder, where is Leavenworth? Well, Leavenworth is up in the mountains in Washington. So, this is a tiny map that's zoomed in so we can see Seattle, Portland, and Leavenworth. And the reason why I wanted to show Portland is because Mariana's family lives very close to Portland, and so I wanted to give her an idea of, like, when I say it's gonna be a day trip to get up to Leavenworth, this is what I mean. Leavenworth is a couple hours outside of Seattle, but it is more than a couple hours outside of Portland. However, it is very cute. If you can see, Leavenworth is the tiny little town circled in purple on the upper right of the map. Because you see, I have to have maps because I'm map statter. And yes, Mariana, Washington is pretty big. It is pretty big. It's about, I don't know, 350 miles across, about 300 miles up and down, something like that. Around, 300 miles north-south, 350 east-west, something like that. I'm using those numbers right off the top of my head based on highway numbers. I'm sure other people are going to be like, oh my God, for someone who knows maps, you really don't know much. But anyway, so Leavenworth, it's the circled purple thing. Right next to Leavenworth, between Leavenworth and Wenatchee, by the way, famous for their apples. Right between Leavenworth and Wenatchee, there's a tiny little town called Cashmere. And you're like, I don't really care about Cashmere. We're talking about Leavenworth. Why are you talking about Cashmere? Because you guys do care about Cashmere. You either love Cashmere or you hate Cashmere. I hate Cashmere because Cashmere is what brings us applets and cotlets. But if you love yourself an applet or a cotlet, well then you love yourself the city of Cashmere. And so yeah, just fun fact, just outside of the Bavarian-themed town of Leavenworth is a candy-making town called Cashmere. And Cashmere is the world producer of applets and cotlets. Mariana, I am so happy that you don't know what an applet or a cotlet is. Because back in the 70s, these things were, like, so popular. And during Christmas, like, there was an advertising blitz like nobody's business. Applets and cotlets were they basically was like, it's like the candy version of, okay, so C-Honda's coming in. I love applets. To me, it's like the candy version of fruitcake. It's just gross. It's a bunch of fruit and nuts in gelatin. And applets are made with the apples. Cotlets are made with the apricots. But they make different varieties of them, but applets and cotlets, the apples and apricots were the original thing. And I'm glad that at least somebody here knew what applets and cotlets were, because frankly, I thought everybody knew what applets and cotlets were. But we're not here to talk about applets and cotlets. We're here to talk about Leavenworth. And Leavenworth originally started as a logging town and something to do with the railway pass. The railway pass, they're expensive. So if not, I would order them. Oh, see, Honda, I might have to send you some, because they are, like, you can get them in 7-Eleven here. They're just like, they're everywhere. Applets and cotlets. Kenny, they're sugary, and they're actually, they don't come in a bag, they come in a box. And Kenny, I mean, I will, but they're sugary. Let's see here. Hold on. And Restream, excuse me, not Restream. That was dumb. Mama Sean is what I was trying to say. I actually found them down here, and we haven't had in forever. So yes, you bought them. There you go. There you go. And Darlene, you've never seen or tried these, but they don't sound like something I would like. Seriously, dude, people love them or they hate them. People love them or hate them. I am of the hate side. And people who love them look at people like me like, you're weird. But here's the thing. You just come sit next to me and eat it. It's fine. And yeah, they're based on a Turkish, I think they're based on Turkish delights, I think, isn't it? But yeah, they are based on a Turkish candy, for sure. But before Applets and Kotlets took the world by storm, and they really did, Leavenworth, they decided as a town, they tried to, Leavenworth has reinvented itself many times. First off, it was like a railroad town and a logging town, but then, the rail and the logging shifted gears. So then they tried to figure out, well, gosh darn it, what can we do? And so they thought, you know what? We are going to, as of 1928, the town decided, that's right, 1928, the town decided to pursue tourism as a goal for their town. And so what they did was they built an alpine ski jump at Baca Hill. And this ski jump was huge. However, there's no chairlift. So you actually had to like walk all the way to the top like these guys are doing now. But once you get to the top, then you get to fly. Look at that. They held world championship ski jumping events in Leavenworth from like the 1929 was when the first one happened. And I think they continued on for a good 50 some odd years having ski jump world champions there. It was one of the largest Nordic jumps in the continental United States. And here they are at the top, waiting to fly. And then this is the actual ski jump in the not snowy times. This is what it looks like, you know, this is what they ski down. This is what they ski down and what they fly off of. And this is where they're about to boop-a-doo, jump off the ledge or, you know, float off the ledge. And this was Leavenworth ski jump in January of 1930. So super craziness. People sure love coming up with new ways to try to defy death. Yes, and check this out, you guys. We actually have a video of these people doing these crazy things. So let's check this out. Boop. And indeed, Pussycat, Olympic skiers only. Actually, I don't really necessarily know if it's only Olympic, but clearly professional, hardcore, hardcore athletes for sure. And they definitely, excuse me, did use that ski jump as an Olympic training ski jump for the Olympic team when practicing for the Olympics for many, many years. That was the ski jump the Olympic team practiced on. That ski jump has since been torn down, but they do have 3 ski jumps remaining at Leavenworth. However, the biggest one is still only half the size of what we just witnessed there, right? And Mariana, they must have some strong ankles. Shock, those early 20th century folks, Let's see here. We're tough. Mask, goggles, nah. I know, exactly, right? I mean, it is, when you look at the gear that they use versus the gear that people use today, it is so much more impressive. Okay, let me rephrase that. What people do today is incredibly impressive, and they can even get further distances thanks to their equipment. But I think that the people who did it back in the old day were using equipment that was a little bit more difficult, and therefore it makes it more impressive with what they did. Holy flippin' flirpin' flip. And Mariana, any idea why it's no longer around? Well, it it was torn down, I think, after like 75 years because it was ultimately decrepit. And I can only assume, and I do not quote me on this, I do not know. I can only assume that the reason why it wasn't rebuilt was probably twofold. First off, too expensive to rebuild it at that size, too expensive to insure it at that size. I don't know. I don't know why that wasn't rebuilt, but let's just, get real. Money. But, like I said, they've still got the ski jumps in Leavenworth, and they've got other stuff in Leavenworth too. They've got a reindeer farm, etc., etc. But ultimately, Leavenworth nowadays, in the 1960s, they started to realize when the ski jump was starting to show its age and they realized they needed to further develop the town for tourism. And so a couple of businessmen from Seattle went to a town in California that I can't remember the name of the town. Hold on, I might have the name of the town. Yes. Okay. So there is or was a Danish themed town in Southern California called Solvang. And so in 1962, two Seattle businessmen went down to Solvang and got an inspiration and decided to come up to Leavenworth and create, instead of a Danish themed town, they decided to do a Bavarian Swiss themed town. They hired a bunch of the architects that came up with Solvang and brought them up to Leavenworth. And now Leavenworth looks a little bit like this. Very much a Bavarian themed town. And let's see here. So Mariana, you did look it up, and I was 100% lower interest in skiing, plus too classy to maintain and insure. Yeah, I had a feeling the insurance was a factor. Solvang. Have you been there, Mama Sean? Have you been to that Danish themed town? And let's see here. Okay, cool. And so this is what it looks like now. And this town is known for their Christmas celebrations. I think they're considered, Christmas Town. I don't know if they're considered Christmas Town USA, but I think they're considered like Christmas Town Washington. And this is in their city park area, is a sledding hill. This particular year, the sledding hill got ruined by an idiot. But we're not going to get into that. But normally they have a sledding hill. Okay. Normally they have a sledding hill. And here, this is super creepy. Hold on, let's see if I... No! No. This is, these are, nutcrackers. They have a, nutcracker museum in Leavenworth. And these are all nutcrackers, and these are creepy as hell as far as I'm concerned, you guys. But, they're nutcrackers, and they've got a museum of them. So, very cute and quaint, etc. Here's the deal, though. Do they do a Kris Kringle market at Christmas time? I don't know. A Kris Kringle market? I don't know what that is, so I cannot answer that question. But this is what I can tell you. I can tell you that a friend of mine from roller derby, his name is Aaron, but his roller derby name was Thurston Gore. And Thurston Gore happens to coincidentally look a little bit like a guy on a mural in Leavenworth. So every time roller derby people go to Leavenworth, they have to pay homage to Thurston Gore at the mural. That's my friend Thurston. That's my friend Tammy. That's my friend Amy. That's Thurston himself, the man in the mural. That's my friend Carrie. So these are all people, who paid homage. Just like when we go to Honolulu and we have the Gulick Avenue dumpster, they have the mural where they have to come say hello to Thurston. And Thurston is saying hello to Thurston right there. So if you ever go to Leavenworth and you see that mural, you have a connection to that mural now. Thurston Gore from roller derby. All of roller derby comes and visits that guy in that mural and touches Thurston's belly. And let's see here. Chris Kindle Market, Christ Child Market. I don't know what a Christ Child Market is, so I don't know. And let's see here. Shock saying, my fiddle, the one I got from my recently departed teacher, had a scroll replaced by a carved lion head from Bavaria about 1860, a bit more intricate, but those nutcrackers you were reminded of you. Yeah, totally. And let's see here. They all appear to be well fed. All of my derby people, heck yeah, dude. Derby is a sport for all body types. All body types. But here's the deal. So Thurston, god dang it. All right, so we saw Thurston. Here's Thurston. And then we saw some regular boring old pictures of what Leavenworth looks like now. These are the just regular stock photos. But if you really want to get good pictures of a place, you have to talk to your friends. And these are the pictures my friend Thurston took of what Leavenworth looks like at night during their Christmas celebrations. Their Christmas celebrations go from November through February, basically during the snowiest snow time of year. And so the whole town lights the Christmas tree, lights all the Christmas lights, and my best guess is, Kenny, no, it's not going to be an open air market because it's just too gosh darn cold, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's, I don't know. I've never been to Leavenworth during this whole thing. I've been in the summertime. I've never actually been during this, but people who have love it. They go every year. And Shock, if you don't like Christmas, I'm guessing you move. Pretty much. As it turns out, there's only about 2,000 residents that live year-round in the town. So, not that many people actually have to deal with it, but it is something that they are very proud of. And like I said earlier in my babbling about the sledding hill, there was this dude, a dude from out of town who came in with his F-150 truck and totally just did donuts and loop-de-loops, and I mean he just wrecked the snow park in the middle of town. They got him on video. They caught him. It was just I don't know how he thought he wasn't gonna get caught. I'm sure he was drunk as anything, because in fact, he better be drunk, because why? Only you. If you were sober and you thought that was a good idea, then there's just no hope for you, right? And so let's see here. Let's see here. Mariana, you'll definitely have to visit Leavenworth when you go to Washington, hopefully around Christmas time this year. Looks amazing. My great-great-grandparents came from Bavaria, the Kitzmillers. Exactly. And this basically, Mariana, you were the inspiration for this Leavenworth segment. I wanted to get some oomph to you, get some fuel in your fire, and like I said, this celebration, you can look it up for exact dates, but it runs basically from like the end of November after Thanksgiving until I think February 2nd. At least this year, I think February 2nd is the end. So you don't even have to go during proper Christmas time to still get the whole thing. But as pointed out on the whole, map, if you are down near Vancouver, Washington, which is in the lower left-ish, you're looking at a good whole day trip to get there and a whole day to get back. So you probably will want to plan accordingly. But speaking of breweries, yes, there are a couple breweries there because, it is a Bavarian town after all. And so you can get your bratwursts, you can get your pretzels, and you can get your beers. And there you have it. And let's see here. Darlene's saying, like Rick said, there's a cool town here named New Glarus. Swiss theme building, shops, a cool little town, great brewery too. Yeah, and and then of course, in Texas, there's New Braunfels, which is the whole German little town. And Mariana, is Puget Sound in Seattle? Yes and no. Seattle is on the Puget Sound. Not a good one. Let's see here. And yeah, that's right. I've got maps. I've got a lot of maps. But let's just go back to the map here that we were looking at earlier. All right, so Mariana, do you see where Seattle is on the map? And do you see that blue piece of water that's right to the left of it? All that blue water that goes north of Seattle and down from Seattle to Tacoma and then sort of like back up again and around. All of that is the Puget Sound. The Puget Sound is a part of, hold on. The Puget Sound is part of a greater sea, inland sea called the Salish Sea. And the Salish Sea is got basically 4 parts to it. You've got the Strait of Juan de Fuca, which is the water border between Washington State and Vancouver, British Columbia, Vancouver Island. Then if you go north, you've got the Strait of Georgia. That's all Canadian waters. And Vancouver, British Columbia is on the Strait of Georgia. But if you go southward, there you see the Puget Sound. And the Puget Sound is where you've got places like Bellingham, Linwood, Seattle, Tacoma, Bremerton, Olympia, Shelton, all of those places. And so that is where the Puget Sound is. The Puget Sound is the main saltwater body that most of the people who live in Washington State live on. And yeah, it's a good thing that Seattle isn't in the Puget Sound, but actually, let's see here, hold on. Can I? All right, here's another map. That's right, I've got a lot of maps, okay? Here's a map of Seattle, right? So just to the left of Seattle, you've got all this water. That is all the Puget Sound. But you'll notice that Seattle is the big word of Seattle is on a very tiny little bit of land. Because just to the other side of Seattle is a big old body of fresh water called Lake Washington. I think Lake Washington might be the biggest lake in Washington, but I also might be lying about that, so don't quote me on that. But it's a big old lake. Anyway, so Seattle is quite literally bordered on both sides. It's basically in the middle of water. It's this tiny little land bridge in the middle of water. We're lucky to stay dry. We are very lucky to stay dry. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland in 1792, George Vancouver gave the name Puget Sound to the waters south of the Tacoma Narrows in honor of Peter Puget, Huguenot lieutenant accompanying him on the Vancouver expedition. This name later came to be used for the waters north of the Tacoma Narrows as well. Yes, there you go. And yeah, okay, so, all right, so to get into that, there's this tiny little area. You can see it at the bottom of the map where Tacoma is. That tiny little area, this is where where the bridge between Gig Harbor and Tacoma is. That's the Tacoma Narrows. And y'all, you don't want to get caught in the water there. You do not want to get caught in the water there. It is moving, the currents move so fast. What they need to do is they need to put they need to harness those currents. The waters in that, dangerous waters. Yeah, a lot of water in Seattle is pretty darn close to Puget Sound. Oh yes, no, Seattle is built on top of the Puget Sound. There's piers that literally are built on top of and go into the water. And in fact, actually, there's land lots that you can buy that were parceled out because they had plans to fill in the water to create more land. They eventually stopped doing that, but they had planned for it so much that there's actually people who own land. There's Seattle landowners that own the land under the water because eventually that land was supposed to be filled in and become land. And there's people who actually still own these underwater plots. And let's see here. My vocal levels on those image shares is much lower than my main scene. It shouldn't be. Nothing's changing. I don't understand why that is. All right. So, let's see here. I had something I wanted to show you guys. It was funny. It was cute. But I don't remember what. So, let's see here. You wonder if they have to pay property taxes on those subterranean lots. Yes, they do, actually. I do know that some of the people who own those underwater land plots have turned their land into a marina. So it is commercial use anyway. But no, from what I understand, they do actually have to. I mean, obviously, it's really pennies, you know. It's not really worth, the land's not worth a whole lot. Okay, so it was low last time too. Why not set them with us now? Well, okay, I guess. Okay, here we go. How about this? I'm gonna show you guys this, and then okay, I'm showing you guys this, and my microphone levels look the exact same as before. So, am I sounding? I don't understand, dude. This makes no sense. Okay, I just turned it up, sort of. I mean, I did. I'm way in the red now. Gall dang it. I don't understand. Literally, all right, here, I'm gonna do this. Let's see here. Gonna do that, and then I'm gonna... Okay, so I turned things back down. There's multiple ways I can adjust my volume. I am back to the original settings on my computer, but now I'm actually messing with my mic. So I guess we're testing. And first off, I'm showing you these things for a reason, y'all. These are nori cups. These are little cups made of nori paper. The seaweed stuff. Have you guys ever seen those? And where do I get them? Old sand bakal tins. No, these aren't tins. These are edible, dude. Okay, so, this is my voice on this. Now, this is my voice on this. I don't know how much difference it makes, but this is so... Okay, Pinnell says it sounds same, and Shock says louder still. So my face, I'm still louder on my face than I am on my nori. This is my voice on my Nori. You're just a little bit louder on this, than on that. So, Nori is that. Okay, face one is louder. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it because it's literally on my volume readers, my green, yellow, red. It shows up as the same on everything. So I don't get it. But yeah, there we go. It might be in my advanced audio properties. I have no idea. And yes, no, not candy wrappers. I mean, I guess if you wanted salty candy, but but yeah, I saw these and I thought that those would be really cute to make little things. So both are hearable, just listen moreable. Oh, Rick, you're so funny. I love how we mess with the words here. Our words are so messy. And speaking of messy, you guys, I wasn't paying attention to Fuzzy Cat and his 2-minute warning. It is a 2-minute warning, and he's just like, your sound doesn't matter. The show is over. So, the show is over, you guys. And that means we forgot to talk about what movie we're going to watch on Saturday. I have no idea what movie we're going to watch, but I'll come up with a list of, I don't know. I'll come up with a list of 3 or 4 options. And we'll try to figure out whether or not we want a funny movie, whether or not we want a, Captain, take me to the high seas kind of movie, or I don't know. I've got a couple different options that I'm thinking of. We can watch a Native American movie called Fancy Dance, very good movie. We can watch Master and Commander or something like that, which is a sailing the ships on the sea kind of movie. And then I'm sure there's something else that we haven't watched yet in my bag of tricks. So I'll be bringing those to the table. And I want to thank everybody who came here to this table to learn about goats, the greatest goat of all time. Speaking of which, I think I might need to play Nikki. I should have had Nikki. I have the video Nikki. I should have run the video Nikki with my goat story. Oh, in hindsight, things are coming so clear. But alas, no goat man today. And yes, so all y'all stay as warm as you can. Y'all in North Dakota, go and grab your snow from Florida because it got misplaced. I don't know how it ended up in Florida. UPS, FedEx, they delivered the snow wrong, okay? I know North Dakota, I know you've been waiting for the snow. I know, North Dakota, I know, it's been on rush delivery and we still haven't delivered the snow. I get it. It's in Florida now, though. I'm tracking your package, North Dakota. We're going to bring it back to Florida. No, we're going to bring it back to you. I promise. So, C Honda. FYI, the Hughes fire, one of the new ones, has not destroyed any structures. Conditions are not as dangerous as the ones 2 weeks ago. Yes, that is very good news. I mean, it's horrible news, but it's great as far as horrible news goes. So there we have it, Rabbit. On that note, C Honda came in with the good old news. Now, remember, eat your applets and cotlets and keep your toesies cozies. All right, check it out. No, check it out. No, aloha is what I meant to say.